Silence can be the most honest answer. Sometimes you must yield in order to win, and sometimes maintaining a low place leads you to win. What you avoid today may haunt you tomorrow. Procrastination is seductive. It whispers promises of comfort while planting seeds of regret. Avoidance doesn't erase problems. It magnifies them in the shadows, turning simple challenges into complex monsters. Life isn't kind to those who wait for courage. It rewards those who act despite the fear. Avoidance isn't a shield. It's a ticking time bomb. The strongest people are those who choose kindness despite everything. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The truth will set you free, but first, it may shatter your illusions. Time spent worrying is time wasted. Spiteful words can hurt your feelings, but silence breaks your heart. Man's main task in life is to give birth to himself, to become what he potentially is. The most important product of his effort is his own personality. Learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. People almost invariably arrive at their beliefs not on the basis of proof, but on the basis of what they find attractive. You always admire what you really don't understand. Self-care is not selfish. It's necessary. One day, the things you take for granted will be the things you miss most. Things do not change. We change. The heart has its reasons, which reason knows not. Don't let comfort rob you of greatness. Don't waste your energy trying to prove your worth to someone who doesn't see it. Do you wish people to think well of you? Don't speak well of yourself. Distraction is the only thing that consoles us for miseries, and yet it is itself the greatest of our miseries. A person must dream in order to see the meaning of life. Time spent alone teaches you what no relationship ever can. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Don't fear aging, fear a life unlived. Be the energy you want to attract. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. A clear conscience is the best pillow. It's better to be hated for who you are than loved for who you're not. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Respond to critiques with accomplishments. Don't let others' expectations define your path. Be the kind of person who brings light into a room. When it is dark enough, you can see the stars. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is letting go of the old you. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Prayers do not change the world, but prayers change people, and people change the world. Rules for happiness. Something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Happiness is the only thing that doubles when you share it. If we suspect that a man is lying, we should pretend to believe him, for then he becomes bold and assured, lies more vigorously, and is unmasked. If you love something so much, let it go. If it comes back, it was meant to be. If it doesn't, it never was. Give a person everything that he desires, and at the same moment, you will feel that this is not everything. When we lose one blessing, another is often most unexpectedly given in its place. Just improve yourself. That is the only thing you can do to better the world. From the point of view of youth, life is an endless future. From the point of view of old age, it is a very short past. An intelligent person always hides three things about himself: his weaknesses, his sources of wisdom, and his true aspirations. Everywhere, man blames nature and fate, yet his fate is mostly but the echo of his character and passion, his mistakes and his weaknesses. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. Things never happen the same way twice. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Always do what you are afraid to do. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. In old age, we all regret not having killed laziness in ourselves. When we blather about trivial things, we ourselves become trivial, for our attention gets taken up with trivialities. You become what you give your attention to. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't then. Confine yourself to the present. In anger, we should refrain both from speech and action. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. He who hasn't tasted bitter things hasn't earned sweet things. Nothing is so difficult as not deceiving oneself. You can't think decently if you're not willing to hurt yourself. People know what they do. Frequently they know why they do what they do. But what they don't know is what they do does. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. To remain in the past means to be dead. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many. My friend is he who will tell me my faults in private. No evil propensity of the human heart is so powerful that it may not be subdued by discipline. Crying is all right in its way while it lasts, but you have to stop sooner or later, and then you will still have to decide what to do. A proud man is always looking down on things and people. And, of course, as long as you are looking down, you cannot see something that is above you. I learned this, at least by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. The question is not what you look at, but what you see.